Warning, this podcast series will contain disclaimers. See, it's an episode 0, so...
Yeah.
It's a precursor.
Yeah. And welcome to the podcast. You are new here, so this has been recorded since we did the first episode. We're putting this as episode 0. Just give an overlay of like what the podcast is about, who we are. So that's Cleves.
Hello. And that's T.
Hi. So, Seesaw Podcast, we're going to be covering, we're two registered blind guys from the UK, and we're just going to be going through various topics each week. We sort of pick a topic and go through it.
I love topics.
I'm not a fan of topics.
A lot of people have the last thing in the celebrations box.
I don't think they have them in the celebration anymore, do they? I thought they got rid of them because no one was eating them.
No!
I think they're gone.
Or am I thinking of Picnic? Is that the Cadbury's version, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Heroes, isn't it?
Oh, fuck them. Anyway, yeah, we are going to go through different topics.
So we want to put a lighter spin on disability and maybe say the things that no one else wants to say about certain things, like the certain topics we do each week. Not every week is going to be disability based. Sometimes we just have a bit of fun with it. Just do things that are interesting, that we find interesting or we have experience with. Well, hopefully you'll find some entertainment in it. Or some things interesting. We have got some hints and tips from blind, guys, disabled guys in their 30s. So if you are disabled or a parent of a disabled kid or have a disabled relative, you might be able to glean some interesting facts from it or some ideas or some ways around things.
Or a few cheap laughs at the expense of disabled people. That's what I tune in for. Yeah,
which is absolutely okay.
Just not in public.
No.
But, you can laugh to yourself.
Yeah. And it is fun. Like, there are some funny things and we'll laugh at each other. I mean, that's pretty much like what this podcast is about.
What, laughing at disabled people?
Well, each other. So technically it's right.
Yeah, true.
So as with all new podcasts, the first couple of episodes, the sound is a little bit shaky. We were still, by trades, neither of us do music production or anything like that. So we're completely new to this and we're learning throughout the entire process.
I do cake production. What do you do?
Well, you'll have to tune in to get the clues to find out what I do. So a bit of a treasure hunt. So don't let the poor sound in the first couple of episodes put you off. The content is good in them. That's why we didn't re-record them. That's why we haven't done other versions of them. We were just still nailing it down. So the first few episodes, the sound isn't great, but it does get better. If it really bothers you, skip to around episode 3 and it starts to really pick up. And then from there, the sound quality is pretty much like this. We're still developing. At some point, we probably will make the sound even better. But don't let the first couple of episodes put you off.
We were finding our feet.
Yeah.
Takes a long time to do when you're blind.
They're not always where you think they're going to be.
No. Usually behind the sofa.
If that sofa's pushed up against the wall, it sort of baffles how they got there.
Do you ever think, right, people that are paraplegic sometimes just forget where their feet are?
I don't know.
Like you wake up one morning and then you roll over and then you're just like, oh, where are my feet? And it turns out like they've already flopped out of bed or something and you haven't noticed.
I'm sure that's probably a thing. I have heard stories of sometimes people who have, say, lost a limb, an amputee that have lost their leg, forget that that's the case, sort of like when they're in the grogginess of night time and get out of bed and fall over. I spoke to a guy who has got a prosthetic leg. Like, I did a training course with him years and years ago, and he often forgets because he has other pains, like issues with his back from his accident. So he has a lot of pain pills and things to help him sleep. They make him really groggy, and he doesn't sleep with his leg on, but he'll often forget that he hasn't got it on, so he'll try and step out of bed, forget that he's only got his left leg, and he'll just topple. And he laughed about it. He thought it was hilarious.
Well, that's when you know you sleep on a bouncy castle for safety.
Yeah, I think he's got a system now. But
padded walls.
Yeah, I think it is something like that. No, it's a beanbag.
Okay, yeah. The beanbag system, of course.
Yeah, he's got a beanbag so he doesn't hurt himself because he knows he's going to keep doing it. So when he gets out of bed, he just falls on the beanbag and it wakes him up, but he doesn't hurt himself. He doesn't wake up his wife.
There you go. These are the tips and tricks that you might learn from this podcast.
Yeah.
Always use your beanbag.
Yeah. Probably more based around being blind or visually impaired. But
sometimes it applies to everyone.
Yeah.
We're disabled friendly.
Yes. So I hope you enjoy. We're a little bit more crass than some of those other disability podcasts out there. We don't like to sugarcoat anything on this. The language is a little bit fruity at times, to say the least. And we do get passionate about certain things. But without being controversial, nothing's going to change. So enjoy.